There you are. Oh, there it is. I can see the audio. Looks good. You can see the audio bouncing too, so that's good. Check 1, 2. On the mixer, it looks good. You can make it. Yeah. Check.
Interviews later? No, this is my booth.
Two.
All the Eclipse collections.
Well, check.
Oh, this is awful.
The sound is awful? Are you listening to me on the earbud? What's it sound like? What?
Noise.
Oh, background noise?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
But there was, I hear like everything.
Everything
A lot of
else,
background
it's
noise.
probably too hot. Hold on. You see the green? See your green lights over here?
Oh, wait.
Too hot? Check 1, 2.
Yeah, but I hear this.
It's all 4 of them.
It's this one. Oh, turn
All
that.
of them. Yeah. Yeah, all. No. The switch is all back there. I got them all turned on. That's why you're picking up everything. Yeah. But
So if we have more speakers, we need to get you to turn the mics back on.
exactly. Okay, let me show you. 2. This is 1. Input 2, 3, 4, 5. Simple. So I'll show you the mixing board that just punch on and off. That's it. Okay. Yeah. I'll show you. What sounds clean.
Yeah.
I can hear myself even with this off.
Right.
I can hear this radio.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Good. Let me show you the
What's your name again?
Solomon.
Solomon. That's a name
You
for
didn't know
lawyer,
that?
right? Solomon.
King.
Yes, Solomon. Yeah. Biblical name.
That's right.
Of course.
That's why oh, you know your Bible. Good.
I know it. I've read the whole thing, cover to cover.
I studied it in school too.
You did?
Top
Yeah.
to bottom.
Yeah.
My dad gave me that. I don't have the money or the wives. The wives.
Just one wife?
I wish I could have it.
You wish you could have all the wives? You just have one.
And the money too.
And the money,
I
yeah.
got a little bit of the wisdom.
Yeah.
I'll show you one.
Do you need help? And I say, no, thank you.
But why is my whole video recording off?
Spanish. I say, oh, thank you, because I reply in Spanish. I say, yeah, thank you.
Do you understand this? Huh? Why is the setup? I can't change the setup. The video record.
Your video record. Oh.
She
wants
wants
it
it
on?
on. I don't know. Do I need it on?
No.
I know because I'm not recording.
You're not recording after
Right.
that, so you don't
Okay. Never mind. That's why we need the wisdom of Solomon.
Okay. I'll take that.
Heather is very charming.
She went to Africa, so she knows.
I know.
Yeah, check 1, 2. Let's go. Check 1. be the first victim?
Yes, the first victim.
All right. Have fun.
Someone need to go first.
What's happening here?
So I couldn't get rid of the menus in you see all the menus around.
Oh, you just hit this click.
I turned that wheel too. And that's it. Ready?
I'm always ready.
Always
My
ready.
dad for say cushions, you know that.
And that'll hide up.
Who is that? We put that here. I don't know who's that.
That's Yolanda.
Okay. Is this where the panel is at lunch too? Is this the only case?
Yeah?
Good, how are you? Good.
Nice to see you too.
Are you sure? Is that working?
Okay.
I think
Upstairs is all good.
You all focused here?
I was working this one, just double check.
Okay.
Yeah, all the way down. Thank you, man.
Nice in this box too.
Ah, yes.
All right. I'm just here. If not, I'm talking.
There is.
Yes, we're good.
Oh yeah, I saw you taking some pictures. Did they turn out?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to
have close-ups of you.
Did you get some of the crowd?
I did the crowd. Take photos of the crowd. That's what I do.
I wasn't sure if she wanted to talk to you or I do.
Whatever. Well, we need to talk before about what we talk about.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Whatever.
So your presentation?
Oh yes.
What is your
My
presentation?
presentation is about more secure work for Android apps. There are basically security tips or stories of what failed in some implementation that could risk security.
Do you have something else?
Well,
to
we
talk
can
about?
talk. Maybe we can talk about the Developer Champions program, or yeah.
No, that's too Oracle. It's boring.
Okay.
What about the other presentation that you did on Play?
Oh yeah, RESTful services with Play framework.
Right.
And security work with JSON web tokens.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that instead.
Okay. The both things maybe.
Yes, and then we can mention, that. But so are you creating content? So what's the plan with you being the champion? So what do you have to do?
The focus of that is that you speak about Oracle Cloud.
Right.
And speak about anything that can run in the Oracle Cloud.
Right.
So I have to talk about serverless architecture. Yes.
Okay.
That includes the FM project, but
Yes.
it was mentioned. I have done it because I didn't speak that before. So
Right.
it's about how works other architectures in other technologies, because
Right.
sometimes happen in serverless that you need to marry it with all that technology of something.
Right.
That we cannot mention names, but the problem is that sometimes you join one cloud for use their serverless, you need to use the database in that cloud. And
Right.
you cannot choose. For example, in that Oracle win because they create something that run on containers and you can create your own architecture in whatever.
Right. Okay, so we should be talking about that, and then Play is already a framework. So
Play
it's
is a framework
right.
from Lightman.
Right. So maybe you can talk about different types of architecture. So like, what would be the advantages of having a web application server?
Well, maybe something that we can mention is that not everybody needs to migrate to microservices or serverless architecture. But in my case, I don't need that. My architecture works perfect with a monolith. I have only 8 services.
Okay.
And we are a team of 3 people. And for example, my code don't have 5 gigas
Right.
of heavy, and I need to wait 3 times for that compile and generate a word. When I make my deploy, I take a half an hour, merging my branches, testing that in locally, then submit that to my developer servers, run the test, look that everything is okay, and then migrate that to production. And this is in a half an hour. So what I will need to migrate to microservices for make my DevOps process more efficient.
Okay, so that's
I don't need that.
Right. So that's okay because your application is small enough.
It's smaller, yes.
And
we are only 2 developers. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And then you're not pulling data from different sources, I'm assuming. So I mean, give me like examples of why that example works. So at a high level, like
maybe we can talk, and then without saying the name, but in Guatemala is a company that they back in Java, the Java standard.
Right.
And anyone noticed that project becoming a monster of 5 gigas.
Right.
And the guys take like 3 to 5 hours just for generate a word that they will publish in QA. And then they will need to migrate that to, again, for
too complicated to
it's
migrate.
so complicated.
Yep.
So that sometimes they came to a meetup that we have in Java user group. Yes, we are waiting to finish to compile the project, and we are praying that don't die, because it's like when you are download something and they say, 99%, a network connection mistake. Oh my God, I don't know. So they happened that. So they started to migrate to microservices before to the standard came, because it was a necessity. They need to divide that. There are many. There exists an article that they say if you have a team so big as that you cannot put all them for a meeting, maybe you need to migrate to microservices. It's not, maybe not. I don't know. We will use these ones?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think we should talk about like microservices versus. So you give me examples or at a high level what people should consider. I mean, in which situation should they migrate basically to microservices infrastructure.
Okay.
And then we can talk a little bit. So there is this. I can ask you. There is this new services which is totally serverless. So just functioning, deploying functions. And so what? In which cases would you actually use that kind of architecture? Infrastructure.
Yeah.
Right?
This is architecture, yes.
Right. So then we can. So it's better because then then you can be more perceived as an architect, which yeah. So and then we can be broader a little bit, right?
Okay.
So Java, and then we don't need really to say anything about the Oracle Cloud. Don't force yourself.
Okay. And we can say what I came to do here.
Right, and then we can, if you want, at the end.
We can start with that, and I say what I was speaking to about this other thing that are related with that.
Okay, okay.
It's a
So
good plan.
Okay, so I start with the fact that you're a new Oracle champion.
Well, we can speak about that, yeah.
You
And
introduce
then-
yourself, and then
Okay. I would say to the Manal Ambassador, they are my sponsors, yes.
do that. Just drop the words. Poof, 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 poof. Done. Okay. How are we doing? Should I close up a little bit?
An extension cord.
No editing afterwards.
Okay.
That's why. Okay, cool. Okay. Cool. Oh yeah, microphone. That's
Anyone
how awake I am.
You starting?
Yes.
Okay, those
Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello.
It's working.
Oh, we're not streaming. Oh well.
Really?
Why not? No idea. Well, we'll record.
We are recording.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to start because people look that. People watch that in the video. That we are starting, but we are not.
No,
starting.
no. Actually, I don't have Periscope.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you
Yes.
will edit the video
Yeah.
after.
Right. So yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And we can stop if we want to or whatever.
Okay.
So it's a lot more easy.
Better.
Hello, hello, hello. Okay.
It was like a voice of God.
Ah. You have to get used to it.
Oh man, I just was not expecting it.
This is American. It's useless.
Okay.
Good morning. So this is night hiking here at Devox Nexus, and my name is Yolande Poirier from Oracle Technology Network. My guest today is Mercedes. Mercedes, hi.
Hi, Jolan. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm really good too.
So how was this morning the breakfast,
Oh,
the women
was-
intake
well,
breakfast? Did you
Really
like it?
interesting. Yes, I like it. You know, we share a lot of things about topics, how be a speaker, and we don't need to be perfect for a start. And that is valid. Share what things we are learning with the community. And indeed, one of the best things to be a speaker and share what we know is that people share with us what they know too.
Right.
So it's a meta knowledge. It's a combined word for generate more knowledge. Yeah.
Right.
This is
And,
something good.
So we had about 10 women speakers already in the room.
Whoa, yes, around like 10
Right.
women speakers.
Yeah. And I
So-
think next year we're expecting 10 more to
More,
speak,
yes.
so we'll
In that-
have 20
in that
speakers.
were more speaker like last year. Yeah, last
Right.
year I remember there were only like 5 ones. Yeah,
Cool.
so was good.
Yeah, getting better every year, right?
Yes.
So Mercedes, so what do you do? I know
Well, I am from Guatemala. I am CTO in a startup called Productivity in Guatemala, and I am now a new Oracle Developer Champion. Yes. And
Congratulations.
yes, thank you very much. And an OutZero ambassador. So, yeah.
Cool. So how do you manage all of that?
Well, it's complicated, you know, because in that I run two communities in Guatemala, a Google community and a Jfokus chapter, and yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
It's hard.
I really don't know how to answer that. It's like, okay, sometimes I don't sleep. Yeah.
So you are an architect, right? And so tell me a little bit like about serverless.
Yeah, well,
and
right now
microservices first.
Microservices and serverless. What microservice is a new architecture that was created, especially for the biggest one, for it can divide the code. You know, for example, in Guatemala we have a company that they sometimes their code become to a source that have a heavy of 5 gigabytes. And they need to like 3 hours for it can compile that and generate a word and submit that for QA and then, you know, reply and answer, well, we have this mistake. And they need to change something and they need to compile again all that code, you know, and this is something failed, you know, in time and how you will productive. So usually microservices came from resolve that and you divide all your code in a small modules. So you can manage only that, and you need to change one or fix something issue, you will make that only in that. And enter to this part of make more efficient DevOps and continuous integration, continuous delivery. Well, in the other part is the serverless. There are focus.
So before we get to serverless, so when are the cases when you don't want to have a microservice?
When don't use microservices. Okay. Right. Well, for example, when we need to use serverless I will put my case in my company. So I don't need their microservices. Why? I only have a monolith with 8 services. So if I divide that, will be better divided to serverless maybe. But not microservices. I don't need divide that in small units. And for example, in my case, I only take a half an hour, make all the process to make local test. You know, make a deployment to my developer server and make test there and look that everything is fine, and then develop that to my production server. And this is in a half an hour, so I don't need to buy anything in microservices. So I am perfect in a monolith. So okay. Because at the end, every microservice is like your own monolith, just many ones. So I don't need to do that. In the case to these other guys that have a monster of 5 gigabytes and they can divide in process.
So what if the application is huge then?
It's really huge.
And then it's almost impossible to segment. So what do you do then?
Well, this is complicated. You know, you need someone that really have a high level of abstraction for can divide the process. But one friend of mine in Ecuador, he said it's better migrate a monolith to microservice that starts since the beginning doing a microservice. Because when you have your monolith, you can analyze how it's working all this one. For you can divide your process. So you really need to make a deeply analysis how you will divide that. Or for example, you can take in mind how you are segmented your development team. So one guy say, okay, how you can know if you need microservices or not? And one of the question is, I can sit all my development team for have one meetup. So if I can put all them in one room, maybe I don't need make microservices. But if I have that in small groups and I sit any group for have a meetup, maybe I am having there how divide my microservices. So something hard in microservices is that every microservices have their own database. So sometimes the hard part is divide this information in segmenting in databases. And you need to be really clear about the orchestration. That is when one microservices need information that is not in his database, he needs to take communication with other microservice so they communicate between them. So you need to analyze in deeply how is working that. So if you see, oh, okay, I have a team for me something, maybe I need to migrate a microservices for me that. In the case of this company in Guatemala, they was a kind of financial situation. They are not a bank, so they have a team that have their mission is make connections with the banks around the world.
So this is a microservice. So the guys that are connecting with banks. So when the other guys are making transaction, I say I need to connect to a bank, they connect with these microservices. Yeah.
So what about serverless now?
Okay,
So
in
when-
serverless is like this is a division, but really a small division, because in that case the focus is that you stay pending only on one function. So I will make only one task. Sometimes you don't need to divide your monolith in serverless. Have a specific situations. For example, in the case of, I will mention that, but you have Amazon S3 that is really common for process documents, and images are something interesting because more when we are working with mobile applications. So I can submit image, but my image are so heavy and so biggest. For can send it to Android phone, you know, it's so heavy, so we can have a out of memory error. So when you can detect to a image is in the server, you can run a serverless function. For can manage this image and process, reduce the size or reduce the heavy, make an optimization in the image, and generate different kind of sizes for your devices, or if you detect changes in a database. So usually serverless are being used for can detect actions and make something, you know, like jobs or a scheduler process, just when it occur an action, yes. Or if you only need to have, for example, 1 or 2 services, so you can run one. This is specific for one function.
Cool. So, okay. So, and what else about serverless? I mean, is there like also in the backend? So do you say
serverless is for backend? Yeah,
right.
exactly.
But is there? So, what kind of consideration would you have in terms of cost, or whether you you want to go for like a microservice versus maybe a serverless?
Okay. Well, I think there are different things, right? Because microservices are units of a little bit of services that have a mission in common, but serverless is just only one function. So you are making only one thing there. So I will make only one login or one get this information. Yeah, exactly. So it's are really a small unit. So what happened with serverless is that they are focused on you will only pay when the server is being used. It's not like in microservices that maybe you have that hosted in one server or with a container, and you are paying when this server is running, right, all the time. And then is the part of Elastic when you extend the capacity of the server. But in serverless, you pay only when the function is running. So when something activate this function and the function run, you pay for that. So usually it's for seconds or milliseconds that you are running that you pay for that. This is a consideration. Sometimes, for example, I really make an evaluation if I can migrate my A services to serverless, just for pay when the serverless run. You know, if that can reduce, for example, the cost of the company in terms of, well, I will not pay the server. No, I only will pay when I run the serverless function.
So can you then combine? So it seems like you can combine microservices
you
and
can
also
combine everything. Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
Okay. Cool.
So you can find your way when you need the serverless and when you need to have the microservices.
Okay, so everybody should know about everything, basically, right?
Yeah. For example, in mobile apps, I make mobile apps, and exists a tool that is called the Firebase database, and this is something interesting because it's a database that works in real time. So I can, I do nothing. I just use the database, and Firebase makes the magic. But if I make changes in the cell phone, they automatically refresh those changes in the database. And if I make changes in the database, I can refresh automatically to the cell phone. So what happens sometimes is that instead to have a services that is actualized in live, I can run a serverless function that detects that I have changes in the database that I have in the cloud. And I can send that information to a server, for example. This is a good implementation of serverless in mobile development. So I can make this part of have a live interaction, or this in Latin America, we have many things that works out with any connection to internet. So we need that. Those we only detect internet. We send the things and use this Firebase database is more easy. That we are making that process of checking if I have internet, if I can set that to. So they made that alone, and I run this serverless instead to have my monolith apart for consume the information in line when the people want it. So this is an example for what I use, for example, serverless.
Excellent. And I know that you have a talk tomorrow?
Yes, I have tomorrow, 2 something, I really don't know, 2:30, yes. I'm watching the schedule, but it is at 2:30 about security aspects in Android development. So I have divided in 2 things. The first part is about fail stories. So what fails in an implementation that make a security risk in the apps. The other part is about how we can implement a better identity management in mobile, and that apply for anything using tools. You know, that is like a high trend again, more with the becoming of serverless and microservices, because right now managed identity management is a little bit more hard than in a monolith. Then you can say, you know, I saw bad services implemented that you need to send always your username and your password, for example. So right now you cannot do that. So you need to pass before for validate the user, if that user have a permission for consume something, and then you will go to there. So this is about identity management. We will speak too about passwordless, that is really common in mobile development, and multi-factor authentication too. Yes.
Cool. Impressive. Thank you so much for talking to us, and good luck with the talk. I know you will do well, so but I had to say it anyway.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Very much. Okay.
Cool. That was good.
I think so. Yes.
Everything's on. Now it's empty. I will go to the sponsors stuff. Yeah, I was getting goodies. I was waiting then till the people enter to the conference.
It's impressive what you do. Okay. Stuff? What did you talk about? Well,
About anything important.
many things.
Many things, yes. Many things is a good answer.
Oh, okay.
Serverless, monoliths.
Yeah.
Why I didn't use them?
The Oracle Cloud.
Anything of Oracle.
So we were talking about.
Oracle is paying anything, so yeah.
So I'm gonna show you how we report it.
Now that we have less people here, I will go to the sponsor.
Now you have what?
Sponsors.
Where's the sponsors stand?
There is sponsors. Sponsors place.
Where?
What? That is a sponsor. A sponsor.
Okay.
Well, I will visit
I
the sponsor.
definitely like you, so I don't
There
know
are-
why I'm embarrassed. So you know I'm doing. Well, and I, the other 2 accounts. Come here at like 11:45. Okay. It says if you were in the session, but if you're not in the session.
I'm wearing my wrong contacts, so I can't see. That's what I feel like the font. Voltaire! No, don't say anything. You wanted to ask Yolande to tweet something. I'm not here. I need some help.
Can you tweet about Zip Labs?
Zip Labs.
It's my ghost.
Okay, who's in the middle? So I can write the tweet. I remember that it's I-Yor.
Can you tweet about come to Oracle Zip Labs
Just do it.
and get a chance to win?
Mary.
Here, take pictures, do it.
Is this going to be broadcast on live night hacking? Oh, okay. Well, let me try to do it. Okay. So, why is the site? Hold on. Are we doing? Are you going to record the night hacking the career panel?
Sure.
We should. That's why I'm here. I need evidence of whatever that happened to you. So we got Venkat, Ivar, you. What you start? Your Twitter starts with W. Yeah, there it is. Simon, Mary, Mary. I don't see Mary. I think that there is no Mary. His last name. Yes. Maybe that works. Why?
No, there is a nice hacking internet hub.
What? It's connected. There's a
There
what?
is. Yes, there is a. Yeah, if you need it. So what's
Jeez, she makes it really hard to find her.
No, it's M. The Murray and his last name. Yes, no. It's like my one. My last name.
well, I don't remember the passwords.
Oh, critique.
I'll be there in just a minute.
Will be 11.
Retweet that. Will you retweet the panel thing I just tweeted? Once I get my phone back.
I made that right now. Yes. I made like and tweet it.
Testing. Solomon.
Hello.
Hello. Mine's not working.
Hey, how you doing?
Mine's not working. Solomon. Is mine working? Is it working?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
On the microphone?
Yeah.
Is mine working? Oh, cool. All right, Solomon's on it.
So you just, well, it's working.
Okay. All right. So
I look good. My hair look good.
your hair looks good.
Yeah. Oh, Black Panther. I'm trying to get Black Panther. I'm gonna go bald. I'm gonna do the bald thing. Seriously.
That's easier than growing it out.
No, man, that look like I'm the general. I'm gonna go talk and say, yeah, Black Panther, general, going bald.
So are you still one of the leaders of the Women in Tech Atlanta?
No, I stepped down from the women director. I stepped down the women co-director. I stepped down.
So you're now doing what?
I'm doing a conference specifically.
You need your own television show.
I do.
You're still doing the Pivo app?
I'm still working on Pivo. Yeah, I'm trying to get it national, trying to get that working.
All right, so I'll ask you about that. I'll
Okay.
ask you about the new conference that you started.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
But you're
yeah.
still a member of Women Who Code
Hell
Atlanta.
yeah, we're doing an app for a conference now. I got a bunch of women working on a project. Girl, you know me.
We Rise.
Yes, we are, girl. I'm teaching these. Us girls is like, we're gonna do this conference app right.
An app.
Yeah, we're doing an app specifically for conference for the We Rise conference.
All right. Cool.
So we're trying to do it right.
All right. Okay.
Hello,
Okay,
how are
now
you
recording.
doing?
Here
The
we go.
sexy girl and me and Miss Heather here are
Yeah.
trying to be fine as hell.
Yeah, we are fine as
Oh,
hell.
you know that's right. Bitches traveling the world. No, I've been following your behind in Africa. I was like,
Oh, yeah,
I
all
said,
over
look at
Africa.
her, the spotted one. I said, I love that. I said, that's my girl.
That's right.
That's my girl.
That's right. And you've been in Australia. That's awesome.
Yeah, and going. Guess where I'm going to next?
Where are you going next?
I got time. I got 11:15 talk meeting
okay,
with
we'll do it in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I got 11:15 meeting with somebody in Scotland. They want me to do a talk in Scotland. I'm going to Amsterdam, the keynote.
Nice.
So, and I'm changing my talk more so for social impact than in diversity and inclusion.
Okay.
I think social impact is a more powerful talk that companies will pick up on.
Yeah. We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, girl.
Are we ready to start? Because Alicia's got a meeting.
Oh, we got about we got 20 minutes.
All right. Whenever you want. Okay. Okay. We're pushing the button. All right. Okay. Go. Pushing the button, and we're starting, stopping, starting. It's not going.
It's not going.
Now,
No.
starting.
Okay,
Here we
there you
go. We're live. I'm Heather Van Cura. We're at DevNexus in Atlanta, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with my dear friend Alicia Carr. Hi, Alicia.
Hi, hello. How's my girl?
Well, I'm happy to be back in Atlanta. Obviously.
Yes. No, girl. You know, when last time you were here, we had a good place to go eat at. Remember?
Oh yeah, Pond City Market. You took me all over there.
That was so good.
It was a ladies' night.
It's ladies and men.
And a few men.
Yeah, and a few men. But you know, we control the atmosphere.
That's right. It was fun. I always have a great time here in Atlanta. And enjoyed seeing you after the Women in Tech breakfast this morning. That was awesome. And you look amazing. And you're up to some really cool things lately. So maybe tell me a little bit about your latest conference venture.
Well,
that you
right now I am working on a girls conference, which is Women Empowering Girls Tech Conference. It's called Tech Girls Summit, which is my group of my organization that I'm starting, and it's focused on women empowering young girls. So we're expecting dads and moms and sisters and brothers and grandmas to bring their nieces, their nephews, their daughters to a conference that would expose young girls to seeing the young women, seeing women in the tech community. And so with that, the next day we'll have a 2-day boot camp which is going to basically expose young girls to emerging technology and to social innovation.
All right, that sounds awesome. So what's the age range for the girls?
Well, we're working on from 11 to 18.
Okay.
And so that's for the boot camp, but for the actual conference, we're looking at doing a small, if some of the young girls come, we hoping they come to do a mock job fair. I thought that was going to be awesome.
That'll be fun.
And then also we're going to have a job fair for hoping that college girls will come, get their resume.
First job.
Yes.
Okay.
Talking to some of the companies in the area, even if I can get some outside the area to come in to talk to some of these young girls.
Or even internships. If you're in college.
Definitely some internships. Those are amazing. Now maybe I can convince Apple to come down to do probably initiate, come down and get some of the girls from college to do an internship. Yeah, I have some kind of connection there.
I saw that. I saw you on Twitter. So I guess So is the call for papers open for the conference?
Well, I'm being kind of like selective because it's a one-day conference, and we're looking for people who can either talk about social innovation or emerging technology.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Tech Talks on emerging technology.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
So that's called, what's the conference called again?
It's called Women Empowering Girls Tech Conference.
Okay.
And it's here in Atlanta, August 24th. It's the conference, and the boot camp for girls, the 100 girls, is the 25th and 26th.
Okay. I'm gonna try to make it out for that, but you threw in your conference talking, so I have to ask you about your latest travels. I saw a picture of you keynoting at the Apple conference. Was that it?
Well, Apple did a video on me in 2016, and I'm in it's called the New Beginners video, and I got this crazy, stupid laugh that everybody's addicted to. I can't help it. And then last year, GitHub did a video on me. I am developer.
Yes.
GitHub. Yes.
And you've traveled all over the world. So where's your latest travels taking you?
So I was in Austria. I was in Montreal, and then Italy, and then Ireland.
Oh, wow.
That was last year, and I talked about I talked from future of home to being a woman developer at the age of 54, and so this year I'm speaking at GitHub here in Atlanta. I'm going to Toronto.
All right.
To speak on International Women's Day there. And then I'm supposed to be going to Amsterdam, and then I got people from Scotland calling me to speak, and then New Orleans. I'll make the little New Orleans the last trip.
All right.
I'm making that a girls trip. Me and my girlfriend, we're going to drive down her Mercedes Benz.
Nice. That sounds fun. And you said earlier too that I remember when first time I met you, I think it's been 4 years now.
Yeah,
4 years ago.
Yeah.
And you told me about the app that you had started, which I think is amazing and just really emphasizes the point that I always say, which is why diversity is so important on technical teams, is the fact that women come forward with different solutions to problems that exist in our society that men wouldn't necessarily think of. So that was really, I think, one of the best examples that I've come across, where it's like your app that you created really solves a problem that we have in society that it wouldn't be thought of unless it was coming from a diverse representation. So tell us about your app and what's going on with that and the plans that you have.
So actually, I taught myself how to code. I taught myself Objective-C to create a mobile app called Purple Pocketbook, which is now Pivo, and I'm the first black woman that created the first domestic violence app for the state of Georgia. And the app is basically a resource app. So it lists the shelters, it lists the law, it lists how to get safely out of an abusive relationship. And so when I built the app, I didn't understand what social impact or social, how would you say, entrepreneurship was. Until I got into Women of Code. So this app right now, because of the app and Women of Code, it is now a big app here. I mean, it's big known within California. Apple knows about it. GitHub knows about it. And so now I'm just spreading the word, trying to make it national, trying to raise the necessary funds. I'm trying to get it open. So I'm trying to do everything to get it national right now.
Right. So you're working on funding it. You have like a
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe, yeah. I think I gave you a little something there.
I was like, yay! I love her.
So you you got the GoFundMe, and you mentioned open sourcing it. So is that a plan?
I'm gonna have to open source it. I'm so protected of it because it's domestic violence, and my fear is getting into the wrong hands. But it's for a good cause, and I have to break away from the fear.
Right.
And
find a balance.
Yeah, and find a balance, and just reaching out to the right people to say, yeah, listen, I'll create this part of the page and I'll do this part of the page because it needs to happen. I'm still getting people contacting me wanting this app, and I'm like, I can't do nothing. I'm stuck where I just can't do nothing with it without some people helping me. And
I have a community of people to contribute and help you take it to the next level.
Right. So I'm excited about it. I just love giving back to my community. And Heather, you know me so well.
Yep.
I cry for everything. I did. I cried when somebody said, "You do a good job, okay?" Thank you.
You're doing amazing work. And then, so Women Who Code Atlanta is always a great community of women, and you're putting together another new conference, but you also have We Rise, which I haven't had the opportunity to attend, but that's another opportunity in Atlanta.
Women Who Code is this is their second year doing We Rise, and We Rise, the first one was amazing. I mean, we blew it out the water. That was the first women conference here in Atlanta.
Right,
that spoke volumes and volumes. And so this year it should be just as amazing. They should knock it out of the park this year too, with 600 women coming to that conference.
Awesome.
There is no excuse for them not to make that happen.
If you live in Atlanta, you got to come. If you live outside, so you're pulling from outside of Atlanta.
You got Florida, we got Alabama, we got North Carolina, we got South Carolina, we got Tennessee. Girl, we got to spread the word. We have to spread the word because you got to make it happen. We want men to come too.
Right.
Men and women. The reason why we want men to come is because it shows support.
Right.
And to see these women talk and to see just how powerful, we are together. Make an amazing, amazing conference.
Right.
And so, for the women, with Women to Code, I'm working with several women mobile developers. They're Android and iOS, and they're making a conference app specifically native.
All right.
There's no, other form. They're using Android and iOS, and they're doing an amazing job. And we want this to be an amazing app, because a lot of people saying, the conference apps are not doing too well. Well,
that's true.
Yeah, we stole from Apple and we stole from Google. Let's say that. We looked at their stuff. Ain't nothing licensed in this world. And we took it and we took the idea of the colors and making it work and why we, as women, how we detail. We're very detailed. We want it to work. We don't want no bull crap. We want it to work.
Yeah.
Because our reputation is online. We want perfection. So so I'm still involved with Women to Code, still empowering women. Power to the women.
All right. We rise. That's right. Well, I'm really excited to hear about all these cool things. You always amaze me with everything that you're able to do. So thanks for sharing it with everybody here on the stage at DevNexus. And this will be out on the Java YouTube channel. So
love you guys.
Enjoy the rest of the conference. All right. Thanks.
Stop. It stopped. You started again. Stop it. There you go. Hey, that's so cool.
All right. That's cool. I love you too.
I'm going to send you some more information.
Okay, yeah, I can't make it till We Rise again. That date's not good for me, the 26th, right?
But you can come to
mine. But I can come in August. I'm free, so send me the details.
Do you got any talks in the social? See, you travel the
Social
world.
Impact. I can do a talk on
Yeah,
social
you have traveled the world, and I would love for you to do something on social innovation, social impact.
I can do it.
Yes. Okay.
All right, send me the details.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna send you an email. I'm gonna be the first one on my page.
All right, I'll be there.
Yes. Oh, I got like 10 more minutes. I'm gonna hear what he got to say because he wants to change it up. He wants to change my talk, and I want to hear what he's gonna say. The guy I'm talking, his name is Peter from the conference in Scotland. It's Scotland JS.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Scotland in May, but I can't make it because I'll be in Australia. But I've always wanted to go, so take pictures.
Oh yeah. So I've lived in Europe, but I never got a chance to go to Amsterdam. So I told myself, so baby, you open for August for Amsterdam. And so now I'm talking about I'm going to Scotland. I'm like, so, and I told him in the car, I said, dude, I need a beach.
Yeah.
None of these places got beaches.
Scotland's amazing though, the castles and everything.
Oh, baby, oh no, I'm definitely. These are places that are not on my bucket list.
Yeah.
But when I went to Ireland.
Yeah, I went there last year too. I never really cared about it, but
You know, once you go there, he's like, oh, this is fucking great.
it was.
Yeah, no regret. So I said, okay, universe, you're sending me places that I didn't want to go, but I don't regret that I did not go. Okay, girl.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it to Scotland at some point.
You better.
I'm trying. The date just didn't line up. I have to be in Australia May 3rd, and the conference is May 3rd in Scotland. How can I be in
You going to Sydney or
Sydney and Melbourne?
I want to go to Melbourne. You're going to pass by where all the Aborigines here.
In Melbourne?
I think it's the Aborigines in Melbourne or Bristol. I want to meet the Aborigines. Yeah. I told everybody, I said, I understand Sydney because it's like, it's
Yeah, you gotta do Sydney.
Yeah, but the people that you really want to meet that you don't see is the Aborigines. I'm a big like historic buff on that. All right, so let me.
So was that her who was over here taking your picture? Was that Keisha?
No, that was Camilla.
Yeah, that's who I met earlier. That's why I was saying she was smaller, but you said Camilla. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
Hi.
No, she's talking about Keisha Williams. Keisha Williams is tall. She talks. That's who I'm hoping he's talking about. She's tall and she talks about Amazon. But I don't think you met her. All right, girl. Let me find some corner. All right, sweetie. I'm gonna email you.
Okay.
We missed each other yesterday. Where did you go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine, yeah.
Except for like it's horrible price, 7 months. And then maybe it was making me work 50, 60 hours, and I finally got my managers, and I just left it.
It was like a step.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I've requested to actually take a 1 week sabbatical. Oh, there you go. Some community stuff. In that regard, I'm doing it. How are you?
No, but you need a button as well on the thing.
Mind him?
Okay, so here's the thing. He told me he has a call, not a session, at 10. But he got confused with Central Time. So it is actually 11.
Okay.
So he just started.
Well, they have to stage it at noon.
Yeah.